Okay, so I told you before, one of the most horrible evils is to stick a speed light on the top of your camera and start blasting away, which is what you usually see, like you're watching TMZ and you're seeing some photojournalist shooting snapshots of Angelina Jolie getting out of the car. Everybody's got a speed light on top of their camera. Purely photojournalistic work, purely for news and information. Obviously they're not compositionally brilliant. Some of them are, 1 in a million. That's not where you want the hard light. So exactly where is it, if you're going to get your camera off, your speed light off of your camera, where should you hold it, why, what's the easiest thing to remember? Let's keep it simple, stupid, right? KISS. So let's do it. Let's keep it simple. Now, like I said, I'm all about spending as little money as possible. So what's the least amount of money if I'm not going to be shooting TTL, I'm not having an SC29 flash cable and an expensive SB800, SB900 speed light? What can I do to get entry-level awesomeness? Nikon, Fuji, whatever you want. Here you go. SB26, SB28 preferably. It's my favorite because it is very powerful. It's a tiny little sucker. You can get it for 60 bucks, and an SC17 cable for your Nikon speed light. Obviously right now I'm shooting this Fuji, so I cannot shoot with the Nikon speed light in TTL mode, so it doesn't make a damn. But the same applies to a Nikon. Okay, I've got a Nikon speed light. It's still, if you got a Nikon, you got a Nikon, current Nikon D800, 7100, whatnot, you're not going to be able to shoot TTL in this older speed light. But I'm trying to keep it cheap. And auto mode, or auto aperture, it'll be auto aperture if you're actually using this with your Nikon, is 95% as good as TTL flash photography. It just is, okay? So 69 bucks, 70 bucks for this, and $15 for the cable. So I got $85 investment that's going to drastically improve my photography. Okay, exactly where should I hold it? I'm going to keep my camera in automatic mode. I'm going to attach my SC17 cable. These aren't my favorite cables because the actual attachment of the cable comes out the front of the camera. And she's using this short little lens, which I would never use this really for cabled speed light use because of where the cable drapes, but I'm just using this for demonstration purposes only. Okay. Okay. Automatic mode on my speed light. Very simple. Where should I hold it? Why would I hold it there? Obviously keeping the cable out of your shot is important. Perfect exposure. Thing that I do is I actually drape mine like this to the rear so that the camera strap actually keeps the cable out of the way. Since you're going to be using the SC17, you see how it keeps it out of the way? Great. It's not in the way of my eye. Unless I get the strap out of the way like an idiot. There we go. Which normally I would not be doing this. I would be using a black rapid strap. So, whoops. I've had too much caffeine today. Way too much caffeine. There we go. Perfect. Okay, what's the easy thing to remember? I'm like McFumbles today. I've had way too much caffeine. Let me get my my perfect demonstration tool over here. Exactly like a clock. Where am I going to be holding my speed light? What's it going to do? 11 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 7 or 8 o'clock, 4 o'clock, directly on, not on the camera, but directly pointing at my subject. Remember, angle of incidence equals angle of reflection. What's the easy way to remember this? What's the #1 place to hold your speed light? You see, most people that know what they're doing with a speed light is going to take a portrait shot, a street shot out in the streets, and it's going to be like this. Why there? Crane position, life. 10 or 11 o'clock and 1 or 2 o'clock, you got life. You got definition, you got the proper exposure that actually brings the life to the portraiture or the street photography that you're doing. Okay? Here. 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock, life. What's going to happen if I actually bring the speed light down here? What do you think is going to happen? Now, I call this the death position. Life, life, death, death, hard lighting, definition, and definition. What do I mean by that? Easy way to remember this, and I came up with this quite some time ago. I thought, what's the easiest way to remember where to hold your speed light? Now test this out with your dog, your cat, or your child, or your wife, and see how it actually changes the character of the light. And these are the definitions that I gave to it to keep it simple. What you want to do, say if I'm doing a macro shot or I have a transparent object, I'm doing macro photography, I'll shoot up underneath and behind. I mean, I can use this as a point of illumination for something that's transparent. Typically, however, I mean, if you want the morbid sort of Addams Family creepy lighting, that is exactly why I refer to this position and this position. This position's a death. You can be character positions that actually give audible character illumination to your subject. What sort of composition do you want? Okay. Flattering light. You can take the most gorgeous woman in the world and make her look like a creepy villain from a zombie movie by taking your speedlight down here and illuminating your subject. There's no argument. That's why I referred to these two positions at 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, and 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock as death positions. They can be character positions. They can be transparent positions of illumination of a subject that has transparency. I'm actually bringing it down here and behind, like I'm doing macro shot, on a flower or a leaf, like I've got a lizard on the leaf here. I actually bring it down and from behind to illuminate from underneath of the leaf of a lizard sitting on a leaf, for example. Just as an example, of course. Hard lighting. Same place it would be as if it was sitting on the top of your camera. Always a bad idea on a tiny little mirrorless like this, but the same thing on a Nikon or a Canon. Hard lighting, photojournalistic lighting. Everybody sees somebody capturing some starlet or somebody getting out of the car. They got a speed light on the top of their camera. They got a battery pack usually to go into a burst mode with their speed light. Not good lighting. Hard lighting. Hard. Life, life. Death, death. Character. Like I said, there are certain situations compositionally where if you have a little rug right down here and actually bringing the lighting down from like this, depends on where you're at. What is the position of your subject relative to your light? So down here at 7 and 8 o'clock or down here at 4 or 5 o'clock can actually be character illumination. It doesn't have to be creepy lighting. Now if someone's at my eye level the same as this camera, and I get up on them and I have my camera down here at 7 or 8 o'clock or down here at 4 or 5 o'clock, unless I have a light modifier on the front of my speed light, I'm going to get some creepy audible lighting, but it might turn out perfect. What sort of composition are you going for? What is it are you going for? Now these are generalizations. A generalization is still a truism, so this is generally the case. So just think about where you're holding your speed light in relationship to a clock face. If I'm looking at you like the clock face, easiest way to remember it is the sort of lighting that you get. And you will remember this after experimenting and failing for a day. With your dog, your cat, your child, your wife. It'll be very simple. This is going to drastically improve your photography. As I've said 1,000 times, you're going to get your damn speed light off your damn camera. And the easiest way that I can think about it, like I said, is exactly what I told you. You have life, life, here at 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, life, here at 10 o'clock and 11 o'clock, life, hard lighting directly on, death or character at 4 or 5 o'clock, over here at 7 o'clock and 8 o'clock. Okay, simple. Life, hard lighting, death or character, or something that's transparent. You need to give definition to something. Over here at 3 o'clock and 9 o'clock are the last two positions. Definition, definition. Shooting a rock carving. It was very shallow and faded. To give definition to those rock carvings, what I did is I did hard light off on the edge as I was illuminating the rock face. To make it actually come out, I had to give some harsh edge lighting so I could bring out the definition of the deeply faded ancient rock carvings. So over here you got edge lighting or definition. So life, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, life, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, death at 7 and 8, death at 4 and 5, and hard lighting, and at 9 o'clock and 3 o'clock we have definition. So definition and definition. Okay, I hope I repeated myself on that enough. This is a little trick that I came up with, and I hope it makes things simple in your mind, because it's meant to be simple, and it's an easy way for me to remember it. But for you to understand what the effects are from this, you're going to have to go out there and start failing. And by failing, you're going to succeed, because you're going to see immediately what it does. You're going to immediately be able to transport what's in your mind to the SD card, to the compact flash card, and get your camera and your speedlight out of the way. Once everything becomes subconscious, because you know what the hell it is you're doing, you know what this does, you know what that does, place the light here, it does this, place the light here, it does that, things are going to become very, very simple for you. Okay? I hope I made that simple, and thanks for watching.